Hi, ladies. Happy Tuesday. Aunt Charlotte is here, and Miss Beth is here, and Miss Jessica is here. Hello. And Miss Jessica is going to Disneyland tomorrow. I'm very jealous. Hi, Miss Ramona. I'm very jealous. I want to go to Disneyland. Well, I've never been to Disneyland, so I definitely want to go to Disneyland. But I also want to go back to Disney World. So, Hi, Miss Gina. How is everybody? Hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. I actually, oh yes, Jessica, send me pictures and just make me even more jealous. Thanks. No, no, I would love to see how much fun you guys are having tomorrow. It's a field trip with her son, so super, super awesome. Wish we went on field trips to Disney. We didn't do that. Darn it. I do have lots of things I want to just kind of chit-chat about tonight and talk about some different things, but I will probably keep this to an hour at most. I actually stayed home today from work. Just wasn't feeling great, my system. So I was home today, and overall I feel better, but I still don't feel 100%, and I definitely have to go back tomorrow. Not sick enough to take multiple days. Not to mention it's getting to be that time of the year. It's getting close to the end of the year, and so lots of things to get done, lots of things to get in. Not to mention the kids are kind of at that end of the year kind of combination of some are like checked out and then it's a little bit of craziness. So definitely want to be there for my kiddos. One of my students messaged me today, one of my culinary students, and was like, the sub is it thinks that we're supposed to be cooking today because they were supposed to have a lab today, but obviously if I'm not there, they're not doing a lab. And it's not even about me like not wanting someone else to, it's against the rules. And so it's not going to happen. And apparently the sub was under the impression somehow they were doing the lab, or the kids were, some of the other kids were talking. I'm not sure what happened. All I know is I quickly was calling my department chair on his cell phone and calling my colleague and was like, I don't know what's happening. Can you go check the culinary room and make sure that they are not actually attempting to cook, because it's a big no-no. So it'd be interesting to find out what. Hi, Miss Sloan, to see what really happened while I was not there today. And we've had quite a few fights lately. Emotions are running high. The weather's getting nice. Emotions are running high. It's almost the end of the school year. So yeah. But I have plenty I want to share with you guys and talk to you guys about. So I definitely still wanted to check in this evening. But also want to make sure that I do my little, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Decompress after I've been on my live, because of course I get really excited, but I also I've got the lights on and the camera, and it does kind of wear me out sometimes, especially if I'm already not feeling 100%. So we'll probably be about an hour tonight, give or take. And one thing, and I meant to post, and I really wasn't on my computer much today at all, my computer or my phone. It was little tiny snippets here or there. But I did mean to make a post. So I do want to mention that if you guys would, I don't think that she'll mind at all. If you guys would keep Cindy in your prayers. She is battling an infection and she's not feeling very well. So she could use all of our thoughts and prayers to for her to feel better quickly. So I did want to mention that because I know that the Pink Crafty Cottage is filled with amazing ladies who really do like to support one another and encourage one another really care about one another. So I wanted to make sure that I did mention that, and I will also put a post in Mighty Networks for anyone who misses the live, and just for a place for you to put comments, because I don't think that she's going to be on the live this evening. So then she would be able to see those comments in the post, and that's always just a nice way to know that people are thinking about her. So that was also one thing that was on Hi Miss Tara, was also on my my list for this evening. Was to mention that. Hi, Miss Katie. So Tara and Miss Katie just popped in. You may not have caught the last thing I was mentioning, and I am going to make a post. But Miss Cindy is fighting an infection and is not feeling very well. So if we can keep her in our thoughts and prayers, that would be fantastic and wonderful. But I will also make a post in Mighty Networks so that people can leave their comments and well wishes there, so that she can see those whenever she is feeling up to being on the socials, which, it's a little easier to like read posts and things than to, be on lives or different things. So, yes, so that was one of those things. I feel like I just have a million things, and yet I'm like, well, maybe I don't have a million things. If you have noticed and seen the post, which I know many of you have, because you have been liking and commenting and sharing and things like that, myself and the retreat planning committee are sharing more information about the retreat. We talked about it, and I mean, not only are there spots still to be filled, so obviously there's going to be some, promoting happening, but knowing that, one, not everybody has ever been to a retreat, or maybe even knows people that have been to retreats where they've like followed along, or, seen enough of what's kind of happening, and might be curious, well, what exactly is, the Crafty Girls Just Want to Have Fun retreat? Like, what is that? And where is it, and who's doing it, and all that kind of stuff. And even people who maybe follow me, or already follow some of you and have seen it, are those types of individuals who really want to have more information before they would suddenly, decide to take time away from, family and travel and spend the money. They want to know, like, well, what am I doing with my time, and what is that money what am I gonna get out of it, right? What am I gonna do? Miss Tara, well, I have to do a little tutorial with you and see what's going on. So you'll see that we're sharing. There's still gonna be plenty of secrets, surprises, things for those of you that are going. It's not gonna suddenly be like every single thing is shared. There's still gonna be tons of, swag that you won't have any idea what it is. There's still gonna be plenty of surprises and details, but want to make sure that anyone who is considering or genuinely has like no idea, and then as they see and hear and learn more things, they might be interested in coming. So I do appreciate anyone and everyone, commenting on those and sharing those. And, that's Miss Ramona, spill the tea. And that's great. I struggled because on the one hand, I just want it to be such a great surprise for everybody coming. But I also realized that even by giving out a lot of information, who's teaching, and, and even like what the workshops are, or, just some, or even telling some things, but you still are going to be surprised because you won't see what everything looks like and every detail, and you won't, it still will be filled with excitement and surprises. So we'll be doing that all week, kind of covering lots and lots of things. So yes, I want there to be enough information for planning purposes, especially, we did talk, and, sometimes certain information you do want so that you don't end up being disappointed as far as like maybe not packing something that you would have packed, or bringing some stuff that isn't what you actually needed, or not bringing some stuff that you would have liked to have brought, or just not being fully prepared in various situations. So making sure that enough information goes out for people to really know what to expect and to have an idea and to have a better picture of what to pack and things like that. Which they're and I do realize now how quickly we are starting to get down to the wire. So I do have my list of things that I need to post within the private group too, that'll be, very specific, as far as, the things that I would, things that you should bring if you really can, and or then even just suggestions of kind of what to bring and or what you might like things that I would consider bringing. But again, I will make sure to give really clear kind of directions with it, as far as like things to consider, like things that I know that I would want to have, but things that not every, like things that aren't necessary or things that you may not even have, like, okay, so for example, when I went to retro crip, I tried to put it all together, retro hip crafty party. Is that what it was? That doesn't sound right. But when I went to Retro Hips retreat a couple years ago, that was also at the Glamp Inn. Like for me personally, that meant taking my camping themed pouches, my camper themed pouches, and taking my camper themed cozies and my camper themed coasters and things like that, and all of my camper themed jammies. Like I had different camper jammies to wear each night, even though like not really anybody saw me in my jammies because I didn't wear my jammies all day. Like that I had, things I was wearing during the day, but then like jammies, I had like shorts and like a tank that were cute camper themed. Those are things where for me, I needed to have those. Because again, I own those things and I'm a theme girl and I needed to have those to use, to enjoy, to take photos with, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean you have to run out and buy all of those things. So like it will be like these are the things like you really should have. These are the things that you might consider, and these are the thing, and even things like slippers. Like I had not packed a pair of slippers, but I'm not a huge slipper person unless it's like the winter time. And but then I was stopping at Walmart on my way from the airport to Glamp Inn to get sheets and pillows and things, because I was not packing all of that flying, since I had 36 junk journals taking up half of my suitcase. And so a couple of the ladies hadn't thought to bring slippers. And so I got a little text message and it was like, hey, could you grab us some slippers? So I was buying some slippers at Walmart. So I will list out things that are like a must have, relatively speaking, you might want to consider. And then, depending on what you like to have with you or what you might have in your stash, like these are some other fun things. I am hoping it is going to be, I mean, I don't want to sound boastful. Like on the one hand, I know it's going to be great. And part of that is simply everyone who is signed up currently is amazing and wonderful. And the location is amazing and wonderful. And I know how great the retreat planning committee has been at helping me to create a very awesome retreat, helping me with all of my ideas and things, but making sure that it's a very well-oiled machine as well. And I know the swag that I've purchased for you, and I know the swag that has been donated already, and I know the additional swag that's still coming. So like there's certain aspects where I know it's going to be wonderful and it's going to be fun. But then of course I also hope that it's going to be like super fabulous, like every single aspect of it, and that you guys are going to just have the most wonderful time connecting and creating and being spoiled, because that's my goal, is to spoil you. So meeting all the friends in person. And Ramona's on the lookout for cute slippers. Yes. Hi, Miss Joanna. Hello, Jacob. I missed you too. I will be back tomorrow, I promise. I am definitely feeling better than I was this morning. So And thank you for letting, Jacob is my student who let me know that like there was a possible crisis in culinary. We don't cook with subs. Sorry. Not happening. Oh, Miss Joanna, I'm so glad that you jumped in. Um, we were just kind of talking a little bit about the retreat because I've been sharing and the retreat planning committee has been sharing, just to make sure that ladies really know what it's about if they're not sure, to help us, fill some more of those available spots. So, but I will be putting things into the private group, especially to make sure you ladies know very specific. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, Jacob, I can't wait for you to tell me about it tomorrow. Oh, we don't have Spartan Plus. Well, you can tell me about it during second period. Or you can come and see me during school. I mean, before school. And tell me just how bad it was. Oh, gosh. So, yes. So that will definitely be, that will be happening for sure. And, oh, you're going to Vegas. Have fun, Joanna. And oh, yeah, you got to be up at 4 a.m. Girl, you better go to bed soon. Better go to bed soon. And win lots and lots in Vegas for shopping in Texas this summer at Little Craft Place. Oh, you're going to go see Michael Bublé. That's going to be fun. That is going to be super fun. Let's see. What else do I want to... Okay. I'm just trying to remind my brain. You will see, or hopefully you saw in Mighty Networks that I made a very long post letting you ladies know about some things that will be coming to the website. So, as you know, like over the last year, I guess, probably, give or take, over the last year, I really have been able to kind of hone in on what I like to craft the most. Because, I started out with, very traditional scrapbooking, 12 by 12 scrapbooking, and then took a bit of a hiatus and was just buying all the things, and then jumped back in and did like the 100-day project and, some week in the life, day in the life, December daily. Did Camp Wanna Craft. I've done, tried to do some like yearly pocket page albums, 52 weeks of me. But I've also done other, different events and things like that. The Quarantine Stash Bash that was a cruise, and some things with, here comes Stash, some things with Rebecca Hoot. I can't think of the one that was over the summer. It's completely escaping me. It's completely escaping me. I don't remember what it was. But I've done a lot of, I've done one of the virtual voyages with James Burke. I've signed up for lots of different kinds of things. I love you dearly, Mr. Dashy, but you're kind of in the way. And I had mentioned that I really realized that as much fun as some of the little events are when it's really just about kind of making something cute or making something fun, those are great and wonderful, and they can be awesome. But I also think that you have to really find what is your groove when there's so many things available and you like to do so many different things. And that's one of the things. And I still struggle with it because there's so many projects that like look good and the illustrations are great, or the person is great, or any number of different things. But it's impossible to do it all. And so one of the things I started to realize is I really have to stick to the projects that really have more, I shouldn't say more of a purpose, but it's going to have more of a purpose, as in, what am I documenting? Making beautiful things and cute things and themed things just for fun is great. And me being a theme girl, I mean, that's where I get hooked, is because I want to do anything that's like a theme. But what I was finding is, of course, I would get all excited about the theme and getting all of the stuff. But then if it was like just kind of creating to create, when on my, list, I still have like, my monthly or yearly or weekly, whatever it is that I'm trying to like document in my family. And maybe I'm doing 52 weeks of me, and maybe I've got, vacation stories I still haven't like documented. Hi, Miss Michelle. That it's just, I lose interest because I realize that like the stories, the documenting, those things are like getting further and further from me documenting them. So that's like one thing that I really realized. And then I literally just kind of have been realizing this, and then had like a big epiphany over the weekend. Excuse me. Sip break. I had a big epiphany over the weekend when we were in the Winter Memories workshop. So, for those that don't know, I'll show you a little bit. I've shown some pictures, but so the Winter Memories workshop was kind of a follow-up concept, because as you guys know, I mean, I started Pink Crafty Cottage and it's been evolving, for all different reasons. I'm trying different things, doing different things, seeing what we all like, seeing what works. So there's been a lot of different variety of events. And so I had done the Halloween Black Hat Society like retreat in a box, which was really awesome. Some things I learned from it and some things I would tweak and change for the future, but overall, really, really great. And one of the things that was reinforced is how much, when you have a kit or a collection, how much easier sometimes it is to really be able to like get into a groove with a project and get a little bit more done. And I know many of us have a huge stash, or at least have a decent stash, of things. Shh, girls. I may mute in a second if they really lose their bananas. Somebody's walking their dog. How dare they? Shh, girls. I have a stash. I mean, I don't even want to say it in a braggy way, because that's not how I mean it. I have a ton of stuff. I have a ton of collections. And it's great sometimes to be able to go and see what collection I have and use it for a project. At the same time, it's, sometimes I'm trying to like pull from my stash and just create my own. And that's great too. And some projects that works. Gina, it's okay. Save some of them and do them, leading into this Halloween, into this year. It's all good. You still have access to everything. Don't stress about it. I haven't either. I actually will use that album. That's a very good point. I need to use that album to document some stuff this year, because that was one of the big, big, big things that I learned from that one. Is we were making this really cool album, but then what were we putting in it? It was like I had my own moment of like, oh, wait a minute. So, so like 52 weeks of me creating my own kind of kit and using that as like the base foundation for something like that has been great, because then when something is a theme, that I have cards and items that match that theme for that week's prompt, I pull those in and I can still make it work. And so it's great using my stash. But other projects, I really like having a collection and having all of the things and being able to know that's what I'm working with. And so then it just makes the creating a little bit easier, a little less stressful. And so what we did was with the Winter Memories workshop, you guys have seen pictures and things like that posted. I'm going to try to hold up something that doesn't necessarily have a glare. So we've been making things with this Pretty Little Studios Frosty Friends collection. And everyone, so this was a situation where it's a workshop and everybody got the collection, the Pretty Little Studios Frosty Friends collection. And then of course I added in the things that I like to add in, so I added in, ribbons and paper clips and additional papers and things like that. And the 6x8 album, and we're creating the album. And really the concept behind it was to do like our favorite winter memories, like to kind of have a place to house all of them. But and that was just, and that was everyone could have their own take on that, right? So I was going to pull from all different, years and start doing stories. Well, we've still been working on doing it. We're obviously running a little bit later than we thought we would be, and that's okay. And so it came up in our class this past Saturday, that actually, Robin, is she Blue Nest on Instagram? Why is it like escaping me all of a sudden? I think that is what her Blue Nest 17, Robin Ludwig. She was not on, but Cindy was on. Cynthia was on, and she said that they were creating theirs because they're both in it, and they usually work. They oftentimes are together for our classes because they live close, and are good friends. That they were going to use it for, next winter. And the light bulb moment just went off for me, because one of the things that I've been struggling with, and I know I've struggled with it before but couldn't quite put my finger on it, is that I always feel like so many of my projects I'm always behind on, right? Like even when I want to stay current, I'm never quite current, because even if I'm rolling and doing good, and maybe not all of you feel this way because some of you do stay current better than I do, I always feel like I end up behind. 52 weeks of me, I'm behind. My current memory keeping for this year, I'm behind. I just finished January. I haven't printed February's photos yet, so I haven't done February. And as much as that's okay on the one hand, hi Julie, the bigger thing that's starting to bother me is that I would like to be able to document some stories, some things like in the moment. Like because they just happened and the story's fresh in my mind or the emotions are there, and yet I'm not going to be able to get to it. And I've been wanting to, it's kind of a combination. I've been wanting to do like some sort of album that's just kind of the photos of me that I can just tell the stories whenever I want to. I know that like Andrea does it. Shannon Dombreski, I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but our girl that does 10 on 10 scrapbooking, she does it. Oh gosh, there's a couple others that were on the tip of my tongue that like they have their their family, like weekly or monthly like project. They might do 52 weeks of me, they might do 10 on 10 scrapbooking, they might do, but then they have like an album that is just to do just about them, and it has really no rules, so it's not that it has to be like a picture from every single week or whatever. It's just whatever photos they want to put in there. It might be that they have a real story they want to share that's just about them, or it could even just be like the overflow photos, because we take a decent amount of selfies sometimes for other things. Or, I take, photos of like my cup cozies or just things like that, where it's like you just have photos sometimes that are just about you. And so I've been wanting to do that. And I didn't necessarily need it to have a theme. It just was going to be that. And so I really loved that light bulb went off to think, oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to do with my Winter Memories one, is because I love the collection. I love the creating that we've been doing, just creating pages that can tell stories and pictures later. And it just was like this huge, like weight off my shoulders, but also this like excitement to think, oh my gosh, when January rolls around, I can document photos instantly, because I can add journaling and I can put photos in there in a collection that I love. And I can add, if there's something else I want to add, if there's a sticker or something that goes specifically with an event, I can do that. And so it just got me super excited. And I've been looking at Pretty Little Studios' Wildflowers collection, which is what she released for spring. It was kind of, like sometimes the timing is a little off. So like it's just now been shipping. Or maybe it was shipping at the beginning of April. But like it wasn't shipping until April even. So even if I had ordered it right away, I probably would have just gotten it like a week ago, which is fine. But like if you were trying to stay current with some of your spring, you would have already missed a few weeks, which again is fine. But it gave me that, like, I kept thinking, okay, I really want to order this collection. And I'm wondering if anybody else would really like this collection to do something like we did with Winter Memories, like, and do it in a whole album. And it could be for spring or fall. Because if you take a look at it, which I should post some photos even in Mighty Networks before it goes on the website, it has a lot of colors that really could be used for fall too. There's some purples in there. There's quite a bit of purple in there and everything. I think it could be used for spring or fall. And so I actually was excited because I was like, great, I can order this collection, do a 6x8 album, because that's my favorite size, you guys. I love doing 6x8 for so many projects. And it's so versatile to do some pocket pages, some unpocket pages, kind of be able to do a little bit of almost like junk journal style stuff and put other things in there if you choose to, or you can do all pocket pages. It's so versatile. Sorry, sip break. And so it just really excited me thinking about just how great that would be. Because if I sit like with the Winter Memories, having that collection and being able to like just play with just that collection, and then maybe some other things that, like, if you're going to add in like ribbons or doilies or, those kinds of, guest checks or tickets or things that, other types of ephemera, well, you can just pull the colors that match. And so having that collection and being able to sit and just create, just to create, but with a purpose in mind, it's very easy to get into like a mode then. And it's also really easy to create those types of things when you're in a Zoom and you're hanging out or at a retreat, because you're not also trying to like figure out the journaling or where the photo is going to go, or like you're making foundation pages essentially, which I normally, especially like December daily, I'm like, no, I don't want to do foundation pages because I don't know what exactly I'm going to want together on the page to go with whatever the photo is for that specific day, because it's a little bit different for me. The way I look at that, the authenticity, like that's where I struggle. But with this, I was super excited. I mean, I was like, I was laughing because I told the ladies that were in there, I'm like, you've created a monster. The hamster was just like racing on the little wheel in my head. So that being said, that's where that really long post came from too, because I'm really excited now thinking about the concept of being able to order certain collections with a purpose in mind, and then being able to sit and like generate, lots of pages and use the supplies, but then have this tangible 6x8 that's ready ahead of time, so that when the season comes, I can be documenting those immediate stories, but also working on other things. I can work on, our monthly 12x12 that I'm doing. And if I'm, a month or two behind, it's not going to feel as drastic, because if there were some stories that were immediate, I can be getting those documented. So I'm going to do it with, I'm going to order the wildflowers from Pretty Little Studio, which I will tell you, it shows up, a lot of things are sold out online. But as a wholesale account, because I would, because everything would be purchased in a certain quantity, each item that I choose, not just the overall purchase, but like it, like if you're purchasing paper, it's going to be a, X amount of paper. She will print on demand. So if I place an order, we will have all of the things, because she will create everything on demand and then ship it to me. So that's just another maybe bonus. If you like that collection and missed out on it. I apologize. I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little phlegmy this evening. That one in particular, I'm probably, and this is something I'm going to do a little poll in Mighty Networks to figure out specifically for some of the other collections, which I'll talk about in a minute. But that collection in particular, the wildflowers from Pretty Little Studio, I think that one I'm going to do strictly as a bundle, and kind of pick, now that I've used her collection several times, some other ladies have used the collection. I kind of know which pieces are just so great to have without necessarily buying everything, but still getting enough of the collection. I'm probably going to do that one as a bundle, as opposed to like a line item offering every single thing. That's what I'm thinking with that one. And then I'll probably do it at like a little bit of a discount just to encourage that, like, us getting that one. The other ones that I mentioned, this also got me excited. And part of this was when I saw Dixie had posted that she had received the Let's Get Crafty Simple Stories collection that Callie Bangs created. She had gone ahead and, like, when she got it, then she sat and she like had put it all together in a 6x8 album. She'd done her cut aparts and everything like that. And I loved it. And I was thinking about that in addition to then the Let's Go collection by Simple Stories. It's also by Callie Bangs. So they do really blend or coordinate nicely together. And I was thinking, how great would it be to go ahead and have a 6x8 album, have those two collections, and be able to, at a minimum, do all my cut aparts, cut down my pages so that they fit a 6x8 album, and have some foundation pages ready to go so that I can be documenting the road trip to the retreat, all the crafting at the retreat, and the road trip home. I know I'll be taking one of my printers, one of my small printers. So even being able to do some documenting, right away, I think will be awesome. So I will also have those two collections available. I did learn how to put it all on the website. So now I learned that last night. And like I said, today, none of that happened, which is okay. So I'm going to be getting all of those things loaded, onto the website. So hopefully by Friday, my goal is by Friday, you guys will be able to, it'll be a pre-order because you will tell me what you want and then I will put in the order with Simple Stories. So I'll have a window. I'll let you ladies know kind of how long, at least for the first batch, because obviously I can order more times, but I'll have, kind of a pretty quick window only because I want to make sure that I get the Let's Go and Let's Get Crafty ordered ASAP so that the Let's Go is shipping at the beginning of June. And so I want it to be ordered, ship right away, because then I will, depending, those that want me to, I will turn it around and get it in the mail to you. If there's anyone that wants me to just bring it, I'll just bring it. Like, so we can figure that out. As well, that might be an option if anyone knows like they're not going to get to it beforehand, but they want to have it at the retreat to be able to be doing the documenting there. Because I will say, when I was at the Retro Hip retreat and I had my junk journal that I had created for everybody. Are you heading out? Mm-hmm. Okay. See you tomorrow. Yep. Or will I see you tomorrow? Maybe. Probably. Okay. It was really great to be like documenting things that we were doing at the retreat, and be putting things in like that we were doing at the retreat, to already have some of it in there. And I'll be honest, I haven't finished it because that's just kind of how life goes. Maybe not for everybody, but for me, I came home, I had every intention and like, I'm going to do this, and I've worked on it a little bit here or there, and then it has sat unfinished, and I have all this stuff that could still go in it. And realistically, I'm hosting this retreat. I'm well aware that I'm not going to get to sit and just craft for 8 hours. Some of you are going, refund, please. She's not going to do anything but sit there and craft. But again, if I can have a little bit of it done and I'm using those collections, I think to be able to slide things in or even tuck things in. I mean, even if some of it is like temporary, that then it's when I get home, it still is much further than just having this pile of stuff and starting when I get home. Oh, isn't it adorable, Joanna? It is so adorable. I love the colors. I think either for fall or for spring, it would just be either one. It would be amazing. And I'm leaning towards fall on the one hand, just because next spring seems so far away, depending on when it comes, that it would be great to like have it and be able to like work on it in, like August, like have a weekend where we work on it. Ooh, sorry. I bumped the microphone with my cup, because that's part of the other thing that I really envision is that that then I will plan, not necessarily not everything is going to necessarily be like a workshop where I'm like teaching you all of these things for a couple different reasons. But that anyone who, like, okay, you got the collection, let's hang out in a Zoom and work on it together. And I'd be happy to, like, and any of us could share what we're doing. You know what I mean? Share what we're creating, how we're using that collection. And I think that would also be really cool to be able to like have that built-in support system right there and all be working on this, on the same collection and getting it all together and then being able to use it. So it will be those collections. The other, a little bit different is the Disney stuff from Simple Stories, because that I really do want to document. We've taken 2 family vacations. My husband and kids and I, like 2 of those family vacations to Disney, and I haven't documented either one of them. I started the first one and did a few pages. So I really would love to document those trips, because they were a big deal for us. I knew so many people that took their kids several years before we were able to take ours. In some respects, I didn't necessarily need them to go when they were really, really little. But at a certain point, like, we had to wait until we could make it happen. It just wasn't in the cards for us to be like, let's go to Disney. And we went and we had a wonderful time, and it was exciting and I loved it. And we took tons of great pictures, and I don't have it documented. And then I was super fortunate and blessed that, my husband knew I wanted to go at Christmas time, and thought, well, let's not just go one year at Christmas time just because. Let's go for your 40th birthday. Let's go to the Christmas party. Like, let's make it, a special event why we are going. I haven't documented that either. So that's a little bit different. Obviously you can buy those collections when I post them and, use them whenever you want. But I do anticipate that maybe like August, September, or maybe September, October, then just, again, not teaching classes or anything, but hosting Zooms where that's what we're working on. We're working on our Disney vacations or our Disney photos, or maybe you're working ahead. That's just it. Maybe you have a trip that's coming up in the future and you want to do one of these, get, some album things set up. And of course, I will share what I'm doing or show different techniques if it's asked, but it's not going to be like me teaching. It's just more going to be the environment and like the encouragement and the inspiration, because we're all working on the same thing. And you don't necessarily have to have those collections either. Like that'll be kind of a whole separate thing. So that's those collections that I know of for sure. I'm going to look at Simple Stories. I may offer some other collections as well. Joanna there. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be so fun. And of course we'll have some fun. Like that one I would like to have a little bit of fun with, like I might give like different weekends a little bit of a theme, like focusing on different characters or something, just from the standpoint of like, those of us, that are super Disney fans or medium Disney fans or whatever, like maybe it'll, wear the t-shirt that you have, or wear some ears, or use a cup cozy or whatever, like make it a little bit of an event, but not where we're adding any additional work to documenting, just some of those fun things for like getting us in the spirit. I am working on finalizing my wholesale account with Doodlebug Design as well. That's just been kind of a little issue with, they're still very old school and it like needs to be faxed, and I've had issues with the faxing, and then talked to one gal and she said email it to here, and that didn't work either. So Many everything is just online and uploading, and who knows, maybe they've updated it since the last time I talked to them. I have to follow up. But that one I will be also finalizing, and then definitely getting collections from Doodlebug Design. There's a really cute one about like about houses right now, or your house, your home, that looks really cute for some possible projects and everything. So um, and what I like about this is, I feel like it still is very, I know, isn't Doodlebug Design just like the cutest, Beth? I feel like this is still very um, on point with why I opened up the Pink Crafty Cottage. I opened the Pink Crafty Cottage because I wanted to make sure that like there was a place that we could gather that was safe. We were encouraging, we were inspiring each other, we were helping to motivate each other. We were, making sure like it doesn't matter what season of life you're in. Like take the photos, take the selfies, tell the stories, document it. And I'm just getting more and more into that like desire, that drive. And I don't know if it's, the kids are getting older, and I'm looking back going, oh my gosh, how many stories have I not yet told? Listening to storytellers podcast and listening to all the reasons that the different individuals, tell their stories and document and do all of this. And it just really has me motivated to like get the stories down and get the stories shared. So by offering these different collections to all of you, with then, I mean, on the one hand, if you buy it and you just want to use it whenever, like that's still a win-win for me, because you've supported me by purchasing from me, and I'm hopefully still helping you to be creative because you've purchased it and you're going to use it. But also adding that piece of like, okay, well, let's work on this particular project today. Let's use this collection today. That again, I feel like it's a win-win. I have the wholesale accounts. I can give you guys access to the products. Some of them will just be like line item and regular retail price. And I'm also going to probably do some bundles. And that's one of the things where I'm going to put some some polls in Mighty Networks, because I think certain products people might prefer just being able to get a bundle, especially if I do a little discounting on it. Whereas others, you might truly be like, I genuinely don't need a bundle. I really need to just pick the pieces that I want. So I'm going to do a little, a little poll taking to figure that out. But it really excites me. It excites me to think that I can maybe be staying more current with some of my storytelling, while still working on things that I, still want to tell from the recent past, and even like further back past that I haven't gotten to. But so that maybe everything isn't consistently like recent past, or then like everything isn't moving further behind. That again, it excites me to think about taking out that Winter Memories, album, and being able to like play in it in January, January 1st, to know that like I get to play with a collection that I love, that I've already done some creative work with, and I can decide, where I want to put what photo and tell what story, and, and again, it still leaves room for other projects where you maybe don't want to do foundation pages, or don't want to do something too far in advance, or don't want everything to be themed, so like I will still be doing my 12 by 12, where it's like whatever the kind of the family is doing. And, I've tapered that down this year down to monthly, because I just don't take that many photos of everybody else, because they're not available. My son's working at Starbucks, going to school, has all sorts of, commitments and things that he's doing, and he's not home all of the time. So it's not like I'm taking all of these pictures of him and what he's doing during his week. Same thing with my daughter. She's working. She's doing all this babysitting now all of a sudden, because, several people have found out just how good she is with kids. And so she's had like babysitting jobs like back to back to back to back when she's not working, and she's got school and she's got her friends and things. And again, like I'm not taking pictures of them all of the time like I was when they were younger. My husband hates having his photo taken, so like I snapped a couple of him on Sunday when he and I went out together. But it's just because I could. And that'll make it into like the family one. So I don't need to do weekly because that's just putting more work on my plate. I can just do a month, and if there's more pictures 1 month, then it just means more layouts. So I feel like this still has a lot of flexibility, to create some of these albums for specific events or seasons, but still leaves plenty of room for some of the other things that we want to do. So, and let me know if there's other, I will be open to, one of the reasons I had my son show me how to do this, and I've asked him in the past some different things, but he really always wants to he loves doing web development, and he really, I know, has had this real ownership of it and really wanting to make sure that it was done very professionally and to do that for me and everything. But with this, I know he's super busy, and I was like, these types of items, where it's a product, this is just going to be more tedious than anything else, because they already have their names, they already have their descriptions, and they have their, I'm literally just taking stuff from my whole, the wholesale page and adding it. So I don't want you to have to sit and do, however many sticker sheets and sheets of paper, and, especially for any of the collections where I offer each piece individually. That's just a lot of input. So that'll help. So with that being said, I know I want to start with these few things, and I do have the retreat coming up. So there's a lot of stuff going on and a lot that I will be doing. So I'm not necessarily going to open it up to a ton of stuff. But then I do see this being something where if it is working for us, it can grow in the future. That again, when there's great collections that we want for different things, I can absolutely offer them and carry them, and then they can be something that we all work together in if we want. My daughter's FaceTiming me. Let's see what she's doing. She's probably babysitting. Hi, I'm on my live.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
That's okay. Hi. How are you? My daughter's babysitting right now. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
She's babysitting an 18-month-old. So that's why she just FaceTimed me. So, but then I said, I'm on my live. She's like, oh, sorry, I forgot. So that's kind of a lot I know about product on the one hand, but I hopefully at this end, it's really not about product. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It was just kind of those light bulb moments of realizing there's some really great collections that I know I want to use for some specific projects, and I can purchase them and I can offer them to all of you. And I actually had 1 or 2 individuals ask me, especially about the Disney collections. And, they were like, well, if I know I'm going to purchase them, I would rather purchase them from you than, maybe somewhere else that I don't know, or, so I just thought, well, you know what, that makes sense. I can do it, and, it's a win-win, for many of us. So I will definitely be doing that. Hopefully, like I said, I'm hoping to have everything listed by Friday. And or at a minimum, depending on just how things are kind of going, I will focus on the Let's Get Crafty and the Let's Go collections, because those I want to make sure that there's kind of a shorter window on those. And so I have to double check. I don't know when the Disney ones are shipping. Anyway, I will take a look at that. The Disney ones, so we wouldn't be using them as immediately, and depending, I know that many of us, we can't necessarily buy everything all at once anyway. So I may list those intentionally. I may not list those all at the same time, to kind of balance things out. But I'll take a look and see when those are going to ship, because at the same time, it may be something where I do order everything all together, not to mention good or bad. And some of you might like this feature. When you do PayPal and you purchase, over $100, you can then break it into 4. So at the same time, if I have everything listed all at once and you're like, okay, I know I'm buying this collection, this collection, this collection. And then that way, it all comes and I ship it and you have it and you're all good. So that may be just as well for some. So we'll see. I'm trying to think. I know that was kind of like my big thing. I'm thinking. I'm having like a and I keep meaning to like post something, but I don't know exactly how I want to post it. And I had an idea at one point, and I looked for an image, and there was not a good image, so then I didn't do anything with it. I kind of feel like I'm in this like transforming stage because I am going through so much stuff, of mine, and really gravitating towards knowing who I am and what I like, and starting to own that like a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more as I like, decide to get rid of things, or as I focus on what it is I want moving forward, as far as just the things I want to have in life that I want to enjoy, from the clothes I want to wear to, the jewelry I want to wear, to the purses I want to use, to, just how I want my life to be. And so I feel like I'm in this like, I really feel like I'm a caterpillar at the moment that like is like in its chrysalis, or like partway in its chrysalis, because I'm not quite ready to come out as a butterfly yet. I'm not saying I'm as pretty as a butterfly. I'm just saying like that's the best analogy I can come up with, because I feel like there's this shift, because I'm really gravitating towards certain things and moving away from other things when it comes to like my clothing style and like kind of things that I've always liked, but like I'm owning them more. Like I'm gravitating towards, what? That can be your everyday. That doesn't have to be like the cutesy that you just use it when it's this and otherwise you're doing this. It's like that can be your all the time. And I think that Instagram is absolutely a part of that, because there's some new individuals that I've been following, and I'm like, I love, that tote bag, or I love how they're dressed, and I love how they're, and so I'm just like owning that. And I've even started doing it a little bit, with how I dress to go to work and everything, and like really kind of with what I have, because I definitely do not have the wardrobe that I want right now. So I'm taking pieces that I have and like trying to make it work. And of course it's easier to purchase like the accessories, the jewelry, doing my nails. I have to take a photo. I redid my nails. If you saw my post, I think it was actually the day after Easter. I had decided to try Olive and June press-on nails, because they had them at Target. And I've seen Olive and June nail polish, and some ladies that love it, and I've looked at their stuff, and I've thought, okay, that looks really great and everything. My big thing is I no longer like to do regular nail polish. I don't have the patience to let it dry. I've painted my nails since I was at least in middle school, if not maybe younger. I always had long nails. Like I always had long, strong, hard nails. Never had any issues with that. I could let my nails used to always be like this long, my natural nails. Always had my nails painted. Loved painting my nails. Loved doing them all the different colors, so seasonally I would change them up. I would do different colors. I would do the accent nails, whatever. Not art. I couldn't do art on my nails. Always loved painting my nails. Always. But then, I went to like getting my nails done for a little while, which is great, but it also is expensive and it's time consuming. It's time consuming. And so then I started doing just the no chip at home, because I could not stand regular polish either, like just how it looked. It didn't have the same finish and it didn't last. I washed my hands so much. between my job and being at home and like being the nurturer and like cooking and cleaning, and it would barely, I mean, it didn't last like it used to last. Like when I would also, I think I always painted my nails every week. I think I did new nails every week, and I was excited about that. Whereas now it's like I feel like 3 days in, I'd already have like a chipped nail and everything. So I was only doing no chip at home. And the biggest thing there too is just that I wasn't finding a lot of colors. And of course, I kept meaning to go online and everything, but whichever. And there's all these cute things that going on or whatever, but I cannot do regular nail polish. I just can't. I don't have the patience to let it dry. And I never was really happy with Jamberry nails. I'm sorry. It may have been operator error. I like Color Street, but I really can't do any of those types of nails in like this time of year because it's cold here and dry. And so I constantly have issues with like cuticle and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like those, like you could, because you can only get so close, like, or then you, anyway, I'm giving way too much detail about my nails than you guys probably care to know. So anyway, I had tried some press-on from like the store, just the Kiss brand or something. And then Jindy Handcrafted actually sent me a package of Aspen ones with one of my purchases, like just as a little thank you. So I did get to try those. And those were great. They really were. And I know that like Heidi Swap swears by those, which of course she's my girl. She just started a live video too on Instagram. Don't leave me though. And those were great. And so I kept thinking, you know what? I think I'm going to start ordering those. Like I think, they have really cute ones. I think I'm going to start ordering those. Anywho, then I saw the Olive and June ones at Target. And so I bought 2 packages and thought, I'm going to give them a try. And I think that I shouldn't say I think. I really know that the floral ones that I put on would have lasted me still probably this whole week. So I probably would have been able to get at least 2 weeks out of them. I decided to take them off because I had not done a very perfect job of putting those ones on. Because I will say the one learning curve for me with the Olive and June press-on is that their idea of short and medium is way different than mine, which I did put in my post. Like these, I don't know, I probably need to put like something behind them so they show up maybe better. These are considered medium. Okay? I'm sorry, to me this is long when it comes to press-on nails. And the flowers were short. If you remember my post, like they were short, considered short, and those bad boys were long. And so I was going to put these on and then ended up not liking how long they were when I first, because I hadn't done press-on nails in a while. And so then I switched to the floral ones, but like I was already kind of frustrated at that point and just, was on the couch trying to watch TV and stuff too. I was kind of distracted. And I even had one of the Sweet Gals post that she's like, she could tell that a couple of my floral ones I had put on upside, like backward, upside down. And I just hadn't taken enough time with each one that I placed on. So a couple of them, you could kind of tell that they weren't close enough to the cuticle and the glue wasn't as good there. So you could they still looked nice enough overall, but like, anywho. So I decided to take them off and I decided to put these on and take more time and care when I put them on. I love them. Not gonna lie. They have little hearts on them. I love them. I'm having to learn how to type because they're so long. Because like I don't do my long nails like I used to. I used to have my nails super long. Well, not super long, but long. But now I keep them a lot like shorter. But these are great. That was like way more than I probably needed to tell you about nails. All to say, these are only $10 a pair or a set, and you can easily get 2 times out of the amount that they send you. And it comes with the glue in it, and it comes with a little nail file in it, and it comes with your little alcohol swab in it, and it comes with a little stick to push your your cuticles back. So if you genuinely have nothing on hand for putting on press on nails, you can spend the $10 and get your little package and have everything you need to give them a try. And I safely think that they will last 2 weeks. Maybe more, depending, I don't know. But I think they will safely last 2 weeks. So I'm very excited because I think I have found my happy place when it comes to nails. I am just going to keep picking them up, not every time I go into Target, because I go to Target a lot. Actually, I've been going to Target extra because I was tracking down as much stony clover as I could. Which y'all might be like, well, that's crazy. But the stony clover, see, this is like my squirrel, ADHD. This is happening. So anyway, Olive and June nails. They do have actual short ones, and they do have extra short ones. They have some plain ones. They have ones that are squared off. They're not pointy like this. They have all different ones, all different colors. I love them. And then they have all sorts of other nail care product stuff that goes along with it. So I did buy some of their other things to take care of, like my cuticles and things. Stony Clover and the Target collection. I missed the actual launch. I didn't realize what day it was, and I didn't realize just how popular it was going to be, that people had gone on at midnight and already bought it up. Gina, and it depends. Some Targets, of course, had bigger, I can't figure out what word I want to use. Bigger departments, I guess, of stony clover than others. Like with anything, depending on how big the Target is and where it's located, different. They're going to get almost all the things, maybe not even all, but they're going to have a range of how much they get. I know they have a way to figure that out, but very seriously, if you weren't shopping within the first day, within the first couple of hours, some stuff sold out online before the stores even opened, because at midnight you could purchase it online. And so people bought it up and then did store pickups or had it shipped to them. And I mean, so for all of the Targets that I have been to, and it's a lot, and for how many times I would go, even, they never restocked. The only way that I got anything different than the first day is because it was returned, because it had a special return policy that it had to be returned. Katie, yours just didn't get much. Yeah, some didn't. I mean, because again, I've been to a couple different ones that have a different amount of space. The only way I picked up any of the additional things that I did is because they were returned and then brought back within that 14-day window, which now it's hit a point where, unless it was something that people bought later, which at least the ones around me already would not be anything I hadn't already seen, because it wasn't there. So now even that has dwindled. I know, okay, there's not really going to be anything out, probably not anything else coming back, because it had a 14-day window for returns. Gina, it's super expensive on their website, because I struggle. I've never bought anything from their actual website. I think the stuff is adorable. I mean, some of it, no offense, I definitely don't need it for an expensive price. I would love to grab a couple of Disney pieces here or there. And I also love the pastel, plaid, that they had that just came out, and it actually coordinates with some of the things that were the release with Target. But yeah, it's super expensive. It really is. And so it's really hard to fathom spending that, as much as I love them. So eventually I'd like to get some, one or two Disney things. I'm also kind of wondering, are they going to continue with Disney stuff? Because there's one Mickey and Minnie bag that I do really like. I really like the pattern, and I think that it would be one that I would like long enough to make the investment. The princess stuff, I love all of the princess stuff, and I love the ruffle aspect, But as much as I do or don't have a favorite princess here or there, I actually kind of like all of them. And I don't love the pink with all of the princesses as much as I like some of the individual princess themed ones. And so that's another reason that holds me back, is because I just, for that money, you know what I mean? If they were 75% of what they are, I would have already probably purchased a couple of princess things, because I do love, especially with the ruffle. But I'm curious, like, are they going to get Winnie the Pooh stuff? Like, are they going to do a Winnie the Pooh collab? That would be something way more up my alley as far as an investment. So, uh, um, Katie, I think you would like some of it if you saw it in person, because I have several pieces, which I will eventually do like a little share. Um, and I bought a few pieces that, on the one hand, I definitely I would not have bought at the regular Stony Clover prices, but at the Target price, it was like, okay, it's still Stony Clover and it still has that look and it still is that, and I could add whatever patches, even Stony Clover patches to it. Um, yeah, with this particular collection, Joanna, I don't think it has anything to do with the supply chain. I know that that's truly a thing, but I think this particular collection, it said everywhere and everything, like limited quantities, limited quantities, limited quantities. And I think certain things were especially limited quantities. Um, and that's the hard thing is, like I mean, you can get cup cozies until the cows come home. Like, I could go into any of them and I could buy like 300 cup cozies, um, and the AirPods cases, and the journals, like the notebooks, and stickers, and the dog toys, and the dog collars and leashes. Um, I could also buy plenty of the pink coolers, the big ones, which, if they go cheap enough, I actually would love one, because it's totally a Pink Crafty Cottage vintage pink cooler. It would be fantastic. And to have several of those, like at the retreat, would be amazing. But anywho. Yeah, and see, that's the other funny thing, is that every single Target that I had gone to had plenty of the bathing suits, plenty of several of the clothes, not all of the clothes. Some clothes sold like right away. And then, yes, sandals. Sandals, sandals, sandals. Some sandals, because some of them, there again, apparently, like the purple are really hard to come by, and the white one, like the plain white, like Birkenstock looking little guys. And then, yeah, depending on the sizes. Um, so yeah, just for curiosity, Katie, what size shoe are you? I am actually a size 8, but I did find the ones that I wanted in my size. So, because the little Birkenstock looking ones were only $10, which, now again, I would not like go walk Disney World for 7 hours in them, but for, certain times, just having a cute pair of shoes, no worse than wearing a little pair of flip flops. Actually, better than wearing a little pair of flip flops. So, um, Joanna, you're so cute. I typically am a Target shopper, and not only do I love going to Target to check for all different things, but I genuinely do shopping at Target often. So, um, I I mean, I do go there. And then with this Stony Clover, I will say, I genuinely was, you know, intentionally, but I have so many around me. I mean, the area that I live in too. I mean, I have one, like literally from where I'm sitting, I have one 10 minutes in that direction, 10 minutes in that direction, 10 minutes in that direction, and I have one 10 minutes from work that's like not on the way home, but it's by work. So like I've gone there on my lunch break, especially like if I've needed to get some other things. So um so like I would, and like one of them especially is literally on my way home. The other one is like right by where my daughter works. Like if I was dropping her off and I also needed like needed anything else. So like I've been going extra right now, but that was again because I weighed out. Like the stuff is really cute. And yeah, it's Target prices, not Sony Clover prices. Um, and I was still good. Like there were plenty of things that I passed on because it was like, no, you don't have to have everything that they offer. So, um, see, that's good, Joanna, because I've also hit that point where I waste a lot of time doing that kind of running. And I've said over and over that like I don't want to do it anymore. And then the next wave hits, which I have been very okay with myself with this. I've been like, the Sony Clover is different. It's not like I got over like hitting a whole bunch for like the dollar spot. I'm done with that because like it gets to a point too where some of the stuff looks cute because of who's post like how it's being posted on Instagram. You know what I mean? Whoever is showing it, like how they have their how they're displaying it, what's happening in the background, what they're using it for. And don't get me wrong, I love this stuff and I've gotten several things, but then there's other things where it's like I go and I look at it and I'm like, A, it's not as cute as I thought, or B, yeah, it looked really cute in their house with that setup. But I'm going to get this one lonely thing and then I'm going to try to put it in with my stuff. And that's what I'm starting to learn. The same thing with some of the vintage stuff. Like, I love certain vintage things, but I started getting certain things and then going, wait a minute, it doesn't, I don't do vintage in my whole house. So it's got to work in this space, or it has to be very specific to work out in my other space where that's a different kind of vintage. I don't know if that makes, now I'm just getting chatty. So there again, though, I'm coming into my own, really realizing like the things that I do love and I do want, and the things where it's like, oh, that's super cute for them in their space. That's them, not me. And or even some of things where it's like, stop buying that stuff because so and so is buying it and you think that's who you want to be, or you buy it just to take the photo that looks like that, but then you don't use it. Like, buy the stuff you actually are going to use and love. And yeah, okay, all right. 45 minutes. Oh, yeah. Like, that's totally, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things or stuff where I would maybe do a special trip like that. But no, I'm talking like literally, like, I have three, four. I have four Targets each in different directions within 10 to 12 minutes from my house. And like the one is genuinely on my way home from work. Like I can scoot off the highway. It's like 2 minutes off the highway. I can go in, check and see, and get back on. And so with this in particular, I was doing more of those little run-ins than I normally would, but it was always right in front of the store, right in the front of the store. And that's just it. I could go in, I could look and just see, did someone return something? And I did luck out and get a couple of things that I had never seen in person that I was like, this is worth it, because again, it's the pastels that I love. It's theme stuff that I love. It mixes and matches with other things I love. I can use it. It's cute and it's affordable. And I scored a piece, I'm also kind of glad that window is done, and it's like, yeah, now I'm over it. Like, I don't need to run because it's not going to be there. Yeah, I just live in that kind of area. Because I can get to a Marshall's or a Home Goods TJ Maxx in those same four directions, all within 10 to 12 minutes. I can get to a Michael's within, less than 10 minutes. I can get to IKEA in less than 10 minutes. I can get to Hobby Lobby in about 10 minutes. I can get to another Hobby Lobby in about 12 minutes. I can get to yet another Michael's in about 12 minutes. I can get... I just am in, because of this, like, just the way the suburbs are and where we're at, I can get to like, and then I can get to other ones. Like I can go to additional ones that are 25 minutes away. Like then you're talking, I can get to like, I don't even know, 8 Targets within less than 30 minutes. Today was Walmart though. I went to Walmart today to look for those road trip bags. Well, I needed a big shipping box as well, and they have a better deal on their shipping boxes of the size that I needed. Um, I won't be a bad influence, Brad, I promise, because I also know what Katie likes and I'm getting better at knowing what I like. And so I don't buy everything. Not to mention I'm the really good type of road trip buddy because I have bought a few things for Miss Katie just because I want us to both have it. Oh, good night, Miss Tara. See, yeah, I need to go too because I can hear it. I can feel it and hear it in my voice. And I said it would be an hour or less because I wasn't feeling good. But see, then I went off onto my little tangents about fingernails and about stony clover. Goodness gracious. All the things. I'm sure I'll think of something. I do get in a lot of trouble. I do. I really, really do. But I'm trying to get better. Trying. It's a process. It is a process. Oh my goodness gracious. And it definitely didn't come close to it at all. But. Oh. That's funny, Katie. Oh, goodness gracious. That is funny. He's like, you're never going to see her. At least with the road trip, we have so far to go. We are going to do just a lot of driving and not a whole lot of shopping. Although I do want to check in with everybody and make sure there's not anything we really need to hit along the way. But we want to hit Little Craft Place and Buc-ee's. So that's probably enough. That'll probably... Oh, and Daiso. Joanna, right? I know. Every time we used to travel, not that it was like a ton, but I would always check to see if there were scrapbook stores. Like, actual OG scrapbook stores so I could go in and shop. Which I should do that though because there are certain parts of the country still have certain things that like there are no scrapbook stores around here. I shouldn't say that. There's one like 45 minutes from me. Oh yeah, antique malls would be the other thing. The only hard thing, well, the good thing, I guess, I take a long time when I antique shop, and maybe everybody does, but especially with the ADHD, there's so much to take in. And especially since a lot of the things that I like are littles, you know what I mean? Like, books or ephemera or little figurines or things like that. It takes me so long and it's so exhausting that other than like maybe a really unique one that would be more like you just got to go just to see it or something, I wouldn't be able to do antiquing, like, especially on the way there because we got to get there. Not to mention we won't have any room. Oh, good. We won't be close to Waco, so we can't go. Yes, Aunt Charlotte, you do that with quilt stores, and I've done that with you with quilt stores, which is dangerous because finding quilt fabric is like finding scrapbook paper, only a little bit more expensive, and then I never knew how much to buy before. Now I would know that I could get like a tiny little bit and just make some ruffles and be good, but I used to be like, I don't know how much to get because I don't know what I'm going to make with it. Yeah, so you have, well, I don't know how close it is to you, but it's in California. Frank Garcia has his store, and he's apparently like almost always there. So, but I don't know how far that is to you. I have no idea. Is Paper Crown a scrapbook store or is that the antique mall? We're not going through Waco though, so we can't go, so it's okay. All right, ladies. I am going to call it a night because otherwise I will get on to some other tangent and ooh, maybe we'll have to make a trip just to Waco, Texas. Not this go around. I meant like in the future. Oh, that's 4 hours from you, Sloan? Yeah, so never mind. Not to say maybe sometime to go and do it, but like it would have to be like kind of that's far. That's like a whole day trip. Like you, yeah, no. Especially, I mean, as cool as he might be, it's only his stuff. It's not like it's like there's a scrapbook store that I went to in Illinois with my friend Mary, um, and it's a good I forget how many hours away it was, but like it's this huge, huge, huge store, and that's just it. We made relatively a day of it. Like we cruised down, we shopped, and then we went and had lunch, and then we came back, and we wouldn't do it all the time. So, all right, ladies, it has been so much fun. You guys have made me feel so much better, but I am gonna go so I can decompress for just a few minutes, and then I'm gonna go to bed so that I can go to work tomorrow. I hope that you guys have a really great rest of your Tuesday night. I am so glad that you were here with me. And keep commenting and sharing and posting about the retreat. I really hope that we get all of the ladies there that are meant to be there and want to be there. So thank you for that. And I will be posting more information in Mighty Networks. Like I said, some polls and things, and I will be getting those products up hopefully by Friday, especially the Let's Go and Let's Get Crafty for anyone else who wants to make sure they can put together a 6x8 or whatever you're going to do, but put together something for the retreat and your road trip or your traveling to get there. So, okay. So apparently another trip to Texas in the future. So love you too, Sloan. Yes, keep Cindy in your prayers. I will try to remember to make a post in my networks. It might not be tonight. It might be tomorrow. And then, yeah, I just absolutely love you guys. And thanks for being here. This was super fun. And I will catch everybody real soon. Bye, guys.